Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. I am so excited about today's video because I get to talk about business planning. As you already know and probably can tell from the title of my channel, I share my planning journey with my audience. I love budget planning, I love content planning, I love business planning, and travel adventures. But one of my sweet spots includes budget planning. I'm a strategist at heart, and I really enjoy helping entrepreneurs to grow their business. I am someone who is growing a business while working full-time, so planning is absolutely essential for me. I have to set strategic goals, I have to establish a plan, and I have to be disciplined enough to stick to it. My advice to you is when you leverage planning in your business, you will see yourself grow further and execute with ease. Not that it's going to be easy, but you will notice that the road won't be as turbulent for you and your business. So let's talk about the tips. I am going to be sharing 5 ways for you to project plan better in your business. When we think about project planning, sometimes we think of something that's so deep or just so embedded in corporate that we may feel it doesn't apply to our small business, but it indeed does. So let's talk through the tips. Tip number 1 is to establish your goals. When you establish your goals, ensure that you link it back to your overall mission for your business. My business is Career Mom Community, and within that, it also includes both of my blogs, Coach D's Planner Life and CareerMomCommunity.com. They have 2 very specific purposes, but it all links back to my overarching goal, which is to share tips with my audience so that they can balance, grow, and succeed in life. When I think about my individual goals, I keep that at the forefront of my mind. I want to stay true to my brand, and I want to stay true to what I have been called to do in this season. Therefore, my goals connect the 2. Make sure that your goals are also SMART goals. They are something that you can measure. It's specific, it is time bound, it is realistic. Make sure that your goals are going to drive you towards success. Only you can determine what success will look like for you and your small business. Tip number 2 is to plan in your business. These tips are more so geared towards the solopreneur or the small business that's just getting off the ground, and for individuals who are not familiar with project planning. When you think about project planning, make sure that you understand it is setting aside a roadmap for a specific project. You can project plan for your launch. You can project plan for your Black Friday deals. Black Friday is right around the corner, and as small businesses, you can leverage that as an opportunity to really drive some revenue and some sales to your business. If you project plan accordingly, you will be prepared to launch whatever your Black Friday deal is with ease and with a well-defined strategy. You may be planning to launch your business. Maybe you set a goal to launch your business in January 2022. If you start today, you can craft a project plan that will get you to that launch date. Your project plan becomes your roadmap to get you to a specific destination. Your project is the activity, the what. It is the launch. It could be the new website. Your project planning to redesign your website. But it is your initiative that you plan to take on. Your project also has a specific deliverable date. We'll get into another tip that talks about dates as well. But make sure that you have a well-crafted plan that accounts for where you see yourself. I wouldn't suggest you project plan to grow your business. That's too general. It's too high level. Bring it down a couple of notches and get very specific. I want to grow my business by doing X, Y, and Z, or I want to grow sales. Well, what activities will help you to increase your sales in your business, and project plan for those activities? It may include a holiday campaign where you're driving people to your site so that they can make purchases for Christmas gifts for themselves. Maybe your business has something that will be helpful for people around the holidays, and you want to project plan for your holiday initiative, whatever it may be that's fitting for your business. Project plan those activities connected to that specific activity. If you say, I'm going to project plan to grow my business by 2022, bring it down a couple of notches. Yes, that could be a high level objective, but what are the subcomponents that should go into that activity so that you are seeing real results? Tip number 3 is to think ahead with the end in mind. When you think ahead with the end in mind, you're able to walk that thing backwards to understand what you need to do today, tomorrow, next week, 2 weeks from now, because you've thought far ahead. You've thought about your Black Friday sale, and you know, I want to start promoting my Black Friday sale by X, Y, and Z date. That's going to require a sales page. Well, okay, what's it going to take for me to develop that sales page? I'll need to create the content. I'll need to do X, Y, and Z. I need to engage my audience now to prep them for what's coming. So when you create your project plan, you've thought with the end in mind, and you've thought about the steps that it will take you to get there, and you've accounted for them in your calendar. You've accounted for them in the plan. So they become your tasks. And within your tasks, you may also have subtasks that link back to the overall example. I'll give you something tangible to think about. You want to have a holiday campaign. In order to execute upon the holiday campaign, you have a sales page. You want to launch your sales page by X, Y, and Z day. That becomes a task within your project plan. And every piece of the puzzle that's connected to your sales page becomes the subtask. For example, writing the content, taking the pictures, ensuring the pricing, doing some market research. Whatever those subtasks are that are relevant, you have to account for them. It is also important for you to give those things a target date. Give them a due date, and you will see yourself being able to march towards your end goal with ease. It also gives you a point of accountability. If you are a solopreneur, it's just you, so you have to keep yourself accountable. It will become important for you to understand that so that you can create systems to remain accountable to what you've said you need to do. When you're thinking with the end in mind, don't lose sight of today. Start to say, what do I need to do on specific dates to get where I need to be? Make sure that you are checking in on the plan. This is just a bonus tip because I didn't write this one down, but make sure that you are checking in on the plan periodically. You don't want to let a week go by and you've not looked at your task because you could have easily forgotten a due date. It happens. Trust me, I've been there, and now I know, okay, I need to check my plan every so often so that I'm able to see some results, or I'm able to see myself move the needle towards my initiative. I'm old school, as you already know, so I do have a specific planner that I use for my business. This helps me to project plan, but I'm slowly transitioning to using Google a bit more, like my Google Docs, a Google Excel sheet, so that I can track my activities, my tasks, and my subtasks. And I also use my Google Calendar a little bit more now to account for the deliverable dates. So whatever's going to work for you, the goal is to think with the end in mind and to account for the steps in between that you will need to do before a target date. Map out your dependencies. When you sit down to think about what you are looking to accomplish, I like brain dumps to where I just think through my business. Sometimes I'll have thinking sessions, and again, it's just me, so they're with myself. I'll have thinking sessions to where I will sit down and just jot down ideas. I'll write down video content, blog posts. I'll just jot down different ideas that I have, podcast episodes, and I will look at what it will take to get there. I touched on this specific strategy a few minutes ago, but understand what it will take you to get to a certain point. That becomes your dependency. Your ability to get your sales page up may be dependent upon your ability to get your photo shoot done by a certain time. That's a dependency. Your ability to release that blog post may be contingent upon your editor getting back to you in time. That's a dependency. If your editor does not get back to you in time, you're already behind schedule. So when you understand the dependency, you can keep an eye on it, because your editor can be someone that you hold accountable, right? If it's coming up on a certain day for you to have something back from them, you can send a note, you can follow up. But when you recognize your dependencies and flag them, you know to keep a tight watch on it, because it can make or break your timeline. Some dependencies may be smaller than others, and you can keep the train rolling without any hindrances. But some of your dependencies that may be more important, you want to understand those so that you can keep a tight watch on them. That becomes a part of your project plan. If it's a important dependency, you can maybe highlight it a certain color, or you can put it as a part of your project plan to follow up or to get ahead of whatever the activity is. I hope that makes sense. So if it's a dependency, you can add separate subtasks to help you manage that dependency. It all becomes a part of your overarching project plan. Don't forget your budget. When you project plan for your business, don't forget what it's going to cost you. You may look up and think, okay, I'm going to launch my website, and you didn't think or factor in the website fees and what type of website you're going to need. If it's a pro, if it's a business, if it's a basic, factor in the cost, because you don't want to find yourself restricted because you don't have the funds at that time. So say, for example, you forgot to account for your budget and it's a week before launch and your sales page platform costs money, you've expired with the free trial or whatever the case may be. Now what do? That's a dependency. So if you forget to budget, you may not account for that as a dependency, and you can get overwhelmed when you notice that. Make sure that you account for your budget within your project plan. Also account for your goals in terms of the end result, your revenue, and things of that nature. I'll do a separate video if you guys are interested with some sales tips and ways that you can plan to grow revenue within your business. So give this video a thumbs up. Also leave me a comment and let me know what tip you plan to implement, and say, yes, Debronetta, I would love to learn more about project planning and planning for my business. Tip number 5 is make sure that your project plan answers the questions who, what, where, when, and how. When you review your final project plan, remember, this is an ever-evolving document. As new tasks come about, you want to account for them. But when you conclude your project plan, your initial project plan, you should at least have a firm understanding of all of your high-level tasks that need to get you to your specific deliverable. Make sure that it answers the questions who, what, where, when, and how. Think back to elementary school when that was a part of our, was it book reports that you had to account for who, what, where, when, and how? Or was it experiments? I'm not quite sure. But make sure that you answer those questions in your project plan. How will you launch your sales page? The how becomes task. I will set up a landing page on X, Y, and Z platform. That accounts for the what, that accounts for the how, that accounts for the when you put a date to it. I will set up my landing page, or my landing page will be ready to launch on October 25th. That gives you a time frame for the when. It lets you know the what, the sale page, who, you will do it. If you're a solopreneur, then you don't have to assign, well, it's good to assign task owners, because you may be working with an editor or a virtual assistant. Sometimes if you're a small business owner, you may have a coach or someone else that's helping you along on your journey. So go ahead and put down who the accountable party is in your project plan, and then the when and the how, the what. Make sure all of those things are answered in your project plan. I hope that you found these 5 tips helpful for you. Let me know in the comments, what are you project planning for in your small business? I would love to learn more about what you guys are doing. If you have questions about how to specifically implement these strategies in your business, I would love to walk alongside you in your journey to launching whatever it is you are developing. You can learn more at careermomcommunity.com. On the coaching page, it is careermomcommunity.com/coaching, and learn about the services that I offer. If you have questions, you can schedule a quick chat as well. Until next time, happy planning, happy business planning. I look forward to seeing your businesses grow, flourish, and thrive. Bye, guys.